3.1 lines and angles. I'm gonna try to copy the pictures over from the book, but you might be better off looking at their pictures than attempting to look at mine on page 132. Basically for 10 through 13, they tell us to think of each segment in the diagram as part of a line. Fill the blank with parallel, skew, or perpendicular. So we have essentially a rectangle here. Like I said, their picture is going to be much better than mine, so just bear with me on that. Okay, and then
That's not even bad.
but I can tell you theirs is definitely better. E, C, E, and F. Okay, so it's not like a perfect box, because obviously this is longer than this part, and that is the way that it's drawn in the book. It's not like perfect. So, number 10, and you don't have to copy the picture over when you do your homework. You just need to copy this statement and fill in the blank. So they say that DE, and these are all lines. I'm just not going to say line every time. AB and GC are blank. And so we're filling in the blank. So DE is this bottom one. Then AB is up here, and then GC is over here. So how would you describe those three lines? Are they parallel, skew, or perpendicular? Parallel. They don't intersect anywhere. BE and GC are blank. So BE is this line coming down here, and then GC is over here. Yep. This is a skew. Basically let me see what their official definition is real quick to go back to it. They do not intersect and they are not coplanar. So basically one's got to be going like this way and one's got to be going this way, but they can't be touching.
So kind of like, I don't know. C and D.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's probably the most confusing one. So, parallel and perpendicular you've probably heard for like several years between like all your other math classes, but skew is not one that's like super common. So, okay. The next picture is more of like an actual box. Huh?
I got confused after 8th grade math.
So for 14 through 17, this is supposed to be like even rectangles. I'm just not doing a good job with it. But. And dotted lines, you've probably figured this out by now, but they're just there to show you like where the other part is because it's supposed to be three-dimensional, but obviously we're drawing on a sheet of paper that is not three-dimensional, so it's supposed to help you see that. They also here through this front actually have a line drawn like this, and they show that this is a right angle. And then these letters. And again, on this one, you don't need to copy this picture over. You're just using it to answer the questions. But it's obviously easier if you have it in front of you. Okay, so these ones, they want you, again, to think of each segment of the diagram as a line. So obviously segments have endpoints, okay, but lines don't. So they're just trying to get you to picture basically these segments, like from Q to R, as a line. So that's part of why they've drawn the line on there for you on that one. And so these 4 problems have a possibility of having multiple answers. So when you check your answer in the back, it may list multiple answers. That doesn't mean you have to list all of them. For the ones that we're going to do, I am going to list what all the answers would be. But if it just says name a line, then all you need is one that makes sense, right? You don't have to list all of them. So 14 says to name a line parallel, can't spell, to line QR. So I'm going to list off every single one that's parallel, but which lines would be parallel to this one line here that's in red? UV would be one. XW and TNS, yep. So again, you only have to have one of them, so your answer may not be the same as the person sitting beside you, because right away when I asked, I heard somebody say UV and somebody said TS, like literally at the exact same time. So obviously you may not match exactly with the person sitting beside you. That's okay. I would encourage you when you do these, even though it only wants one, to try to list them all just so that you can get familiar with it. Because then if you have a question like you did in the PowerPoint where it says through point D, which obviously this one doesn't have, then you can be like, oh, okay, well, I need this one then. Okay, so that way you're familiar with them all. 16. Name a line skew to QR.
TX, SW, AW, UX.
Oh, I kind of get it now. RVT, QQR, and SW.
One second.
QR.
Not touching or intersecting.
I think SW is wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
SW, TX, UX,
Skew
CW.
lines
But
that do
wouldn't
not
it look-
intersect and are not coplanar.
Wouldn't it look you be touching? Because is it all touching S? Or not?
Wait, and are not coplanar. Name a line skew to QR.
I don't get the meaning.
I'm looking at this because I'm pretty sure the answers in the book are not right. That's why I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Isn't it R like touching Miss Quinn?
It's B, E, and G, C were there. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong answer. That's why. Okay, yes. That's why I was like, what is wrong with the book? It has the wrong answer. So, yeah, so I heard TX, and then I think SW, is that right? Y'all said. And then UX.
And then VW.
Yes.
Holy moly, gosh. Do we have to put every single answer
And
down
then
on board?
VW. Nope.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I was looking at the wrong problem in the book, and I couldn't figure out why these lines, which is what I thought they were not matching up, but I just was looking at the wrong problem. Because I was like, wait, am I, like, explaining this wrong? Okay. But yes, these are the correct answers to those. And no, you just would have to have one because it just says name a line. These are just all 4 options that could be. So this is another one where I was saying earlier in the problem in the board that was in the examples on the PowerPoint, I mean, they had a line also drawn like this, okay? These are not actually in the picture, so I can't look at these ones as being lines that are skew. Okay, so if they're not there, we can't say it. That one had diagonals that were, but these don't, so that's why these would be my only options on here. Okay. The next thing says to apply the postulate. So we had 2 postulates in this section, the parallel postulate and the perpendicular postulate. So they have a triangle here. So let me do this. 18 through L, parallel to JK. Okay, so they have a triangle, and this is J, this is K, and this is L. And so they want us to tell how many lines can be drawn that fit the description. So through L parallel to JK. Well, how many ways can that happen? Going through this point right here.
2.
Well, there's 2 total lines, but how many lines can go through L that are parallel to this one? Yeah, just one, because it's just one going through here. Technically, you could argue infinitely many because you could have a line on top of a line. However, they're looking for one. Because the postulates say, where is it? If there is a line and a point not on the line, so this would be the point not on the line, then there is exactly one line through the point parallel to the given point. So that would be why on that one. So 1. All right, the last ones here are going to be similar to how we ended a little bit ago, so, or how the end of the PowerPoint was. So for 21 through 26, we have this diagram here. We have 2 lines cut by a transversal. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So they're going to give us 2 angles, and we're going to say what kind of an angle they are. So basically we're saying, are they corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, or consecutive? Okay, so remember, corresponding are like on the same side of the transversal, but they're like opposite. It's like almost like in every other. Alternate interior or opposite side of the transversal, but between the 2 lines. Alternate exterior are opposite sides, but on the outside of the 2 lines. And then consecutive are the 2 that are touching on the inside. So 22. Huh?
Can we put ALT instead of writing out alternative every single time?
Yeah, that's fine. Angle 9 and angle 14 are blank angles. So 9 and 14, yep, alternate exterior. (24) Angle 11 and angle 12 are blank angles. So 11 and 12 are here. So what are these going to be? Yep. Alternate interior.
This is angle 11.
Angle 11 and angle 12. And then 26. Angle 10 and angle 14 are blank angles. Yep. Corresponding. All right, that's pretty much it for this section. Are there any questions about any of this?
I hope it says like this the whole time.
There are obviously a lot of terms in this section, so make sure you are watching those and keeping up with them. You'll notice that pretty much all the vocab from this chapter is in this section right here. 9 of the 10 words that you have to have in your vocab book are in this section. So obviously become familiar with them, but also you need to be looking over your vocab because next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, we're having a vocab quiz on this section. Okay, so make sure that you're studying your vocab and knowing what these things mean so that you're ready for that. Tuesday or Wednesday. We probably are going to have a quiz on Friday on 3.1 to 3.3, but that just depends on if we get through everything like I think we're going to. So just to give you a heads up. And don't forget, you have your Theorem and Postulate book due on, I don't remember what day it is, the 8th, Wednesday. And then your vocab is due on Friday. So just make sure you're keeping up with that because your Theorem and Postulates, there's a lot more of them in this chapter than there have been being. And if you haven't been writing the names like parallel postulate, make sure you're writing that because that's what you're going to be using in your proofs. If you just tell me it's postulate 12, I'm going to just mark it off because then I have to go look up what postulate 12 is. I'm looking for you to write the words parallel postulate, okay?
When are they due again?
Wednesday.
Okay.
And make sure you have all the theorems and formulas. There is one thing on page, I don't know where it is. Page 138, there's a thing that says types of proofs. That does not go in your Theorem and Postulate book. Okay, that's literally just the names of different types of proofs. That does not go in there. These are just theorems and postulates going in here. Okay, your problems are 11 through 25 odd. And again, they're all pretty quick and easy just like this. 132. If you want a challenge problem, you don't have to do them. These are optional.
Do we get extra credit?
No. 43 through 46 would be like a challenge of finding the different values. But that's just for fun if you want to try them and whatever you